Yo.
Hey. It's
Yo.
time. It is time. Calvin, who are we? What's going on?
We are the one and only Pex Pals, the only podcast for the mediocre gamer.
Pex Pals.
CowVan.
Pex Pals? Calvin, you're my Pex Pal.
You're my Pex Pal.
I'm JoelCupcake. And for those of you that don't get the name, we're pals. We're friends who play Apex.
We have a lot of pecs with each other.
Does that make sense? I also may or may not enjoy Calvin's actual pecs, but like that's a conversation for another time.
New update for Pex Pals, everybody. Pex Pals is already streaming everywhere you get your podcasts, Spotify, Apple, blah blah. We're also now on iHeartRadio. Go check us out. If you listen to iHeartRadio or you know someone who does, you can download us and then listen to us there as well.
Yeah, please check it out. iHeartRadio, great team over there. I know a couple of the staff. I'm a fan of their product. They're, I believe, technically the number 2 internet radio station in the world. Okay. I believe.
Okay.
That does not matter to us because we are peasants.
Yes, we are.
We are mediocre men.
We are mediocre podcast as well.
There we go. Oh, I get it. Yeah, so we're there. Listen to us. Those of you that are listening at home, or in your car, there's a little review button somewhere if you want to hit it or subscribe. We would appreciate it.
Do it.
That's not to get all businessy on you. We like what we do. We're trying to take it farther. You giving us good reviews and 5 stars bumps us up on the algorithm on recommended podcast lists. So help us out if you want. No pressure. If you just like to listen to the show, but you think we're fucking assholes, obviously don't do it. You know what I mean?
Do it. You won't. Do it. You won't.
Oh, there we go.
There we go. I double dog dare you.
There we go.
And like and subscribe.
Before we get into our show, I do have one quick announcement for our listeners.
Let's do it.
If for some reason you find me particularly entertaining, our buddy, actually, Calvin knows him too. Sean Mott has a Marvel-based podcast called Metalcore Nerds. It's all people from the metalcore scene, which Calvin and I are both members of. Well, Calvin's a former member of, and I'm a current member of. And they talk about nerd shit with guests from all over the music industry. Sean and I are doing a weekly recap on the new Loki series that's coming out on Disney Plus. So if you're an MCU nut and you're watching Loki, you want to hear me rant and rave and show how uneducated I am about comic books, check it out. Sean's a great host, great dude. So I'll be on that. We'll be live every Thursday on his Twitch channel. Anyways, Sean, I love you. Enough about that cute man now. Let's go to my favorite cute man, CowVan, over here. What is your weapon of the week, my good friend? My weapon of the week, you say?
I would love to know.
Lay it on me.
I got to think about this. So I've been playing. I've actually been playing. I've been doing my due diligence.
Mm-hmm.
And
we played some last night.
I played this last week too as well.
Thanks for joining with me for a little bit last night, my friend. That was fun to. We haven't gotten to play with each other in a minute, and then Biru came and fucked it all up. No, just kidding. Just kidding, Biru. If you listen to this,
didn't we get a dub with Biru? I thought we did. I thought we got really close or we did.
Well, it would be in your club timeline. I think we got really close.
Okay, I don't remember.
Because you and Biru are in the same little club thing. Remember?
Oh yeah, we're in the barn. So my weapon of the week, I don't know, man. I
mean, I don't want to cut you off, but I'm ready to go if you need some
time. You're cutting me off anyway, so
you're not wrong.
I've been playing with like just a varied assortment of weapons all week, and what's funny is I think this was just like an off week because I couldn't find a weapon that was just like doing it for me. I had a one game. I played Pathfinder. I got like 300 damage, and I think I had a 301 and a Sentinel or something. I don't know. Like that's kind of like the bare bones, the basic bitch loadout. 301 sniper rifle. But I don't know. I used a lot of the Volt this week. I used a lot of the alternator as the one does. I don't know, dude.
You mean as you do, because I attempted to reuse the alternator again this week, and still.
So okay, so not to take up too much time on my weapon of the week, but I was in the firing range just to, like, messing around because I had a meeting in like 5 minutes, so I just wanted to hop in and just like shoot the dummies real quick just to get the feel of it,
Shake the rust off.
And I was playing. I was like, what gun is the light weapon champion? Right? Which gun in the light weapon is like the best light weapon? And everyone's going to argue that it's the 301 or that it's the 99, right?
Yeah.
But the alternator, like within 100 meters, is incredibly stable. Does a lot of damage. Like with like at like 50 meters, I think the alternator beats the 99. Like, and that's close within 50 meters. Like, that's really close. I think even at 30 to 20 meters, the alternator 99 is just so like crazy, and the alternators, I don't know, it just slaps. But
and also it's a skill level thing too. Like,
true,
you have to hit every bullet with the 99.
Yeah,
for it to be effective, especially against purple red shields. But the alternator, you have a little bit more wiggle room. Like if you hit mostly body shots on a couple heads, it'll balance out. You know what I mean? The 99, like, that thing's a fire hose to me. Again, I don't know how I literally forgot. I literally like with the alternator, it's, right now I'm not hitting, but I know how to use the gun. The R99, it's like it's like I just bought the game for the first time.
Yeah, no, it's
like that. It's like that insane to me.
It's one of the best, hands down. And it does really well, but for some reason I just feel like the alternator is better than the 99. I don't know, man. But yeah, so weapon of the week, I couldn't tell you, dude. I could not tell you.
Okay. I mean, should we revert to our old format? Like, do you have a tip of the week?
No. I mean, that's my segment. My weapon of the week.
You're done.
My weapon of the week is I couldn't find a good one that fit me this week.
Oh, so I can cut you off now. Is what you're saying.
Oh no, it's not cutting me off. It's just your turn.
Oh.
Yeah, there you go.
Well, thank you for letting me go, sir. I appreciate it. I am the older one here, so you should let me go first, but it's fine. I'll let it go this time.
Yeah, fuck your elders.
I guess. Oh, yes. Well, now I know how you really feel about me. Jeez. Weapon of the week. Okay. I got multiple dubs this week.
Ooh.
Where I don't remember the second gun in my loadout. Do you want to know why? Do you want to know why, Calvin?
Why is that, Joel?
Because of my weapon of the week.
What is it?
My weapon of the week is the one, the only, the fresh out of the box. What's in the box? Peacekeeper.
The Peacekeeper.
Now I have an interesting theory, and
okay,
I will explain why it's the Peacekeeper.
Pray do tell.
So, as you know, we've had our slight discussions and tuffles on the show about. There's my dog destroying the toy. About the balances and unfairness between PC and console aiming and whatnot.
Correct.
So one thing I'm noticing is that the only thing. Bowie, can you do that? The only thing I'm noticing is that if you want a computer player to leave you alone and he's shooting you, hit him with a charged shot from a Peacekeeper. I've never seen a computer player turn around and run away in a fight they were winning. As when I fucking smacked the shit out of them with a completely charged Peacekeeper choke shot.
Yeah, it hits, man.
We were able to get a win earlier in the week because I was keeping someone with a Kraber at bay with my Peacekeeper. I was Watson, so I had my ult down in a position where the enemy team couldn't hit it.
Right.
I was literally ducking up, sniping with a full Peacekeeper shot to the point where like they were missing their Kraber shots. They only broke my armor like maybe twice, but not enough to down me. They were missing their headshots.
Right.
To the point where our Mirage full on flanked the entire team because they were so focused on missing their Kraber shots on me. And we were on top of a building. If you're on the thermal station area of the map, you know how there's that little cluster of buildings, the very tip corner.
Yeah.
There's a rock. They were on the rock, and we were on the top of the building, but the ring was behind us, so we were stuck on the top of the building. Two of us fell off the top of the building.
Oh,
Like I had no way back up. Like
okay.
if two of them rushed me, would have been over. They could have easily killed myself or our third.
Right.
Only our Mirage still had the high ground positioning.
Okay.
He's able to leave the high ground and push because they're so distracted by grenades and me with my little Peacekeeper with the low ground. They had the high ground on me. So, okay. But on top of that, I've ran multiple games where I do double shotguns or what have you. Man, that Peacekeeper just hitting, dude. Like it's just
Peacekeeper, dude. Like so before, before they took it out of the crate, because when they took it out of the crate, they nerfed it. Right, they gave it a little bit less damage, and they made it. They made the spread a little bit wider. It's not so condensed. So they changed it so it's not so crazy outside of the crate. And it makes more sense to do that when it's just widely available. But when it was in the crate, I remember I used to snipe people with that. I did a fully charged headshot on someone 100 meters away. It did 98 damage.
Yep.
Like with a shotgun, bro. Like insane. So like I understand. That's a good gun for it to be your weapon of the week.
That dude, thank you. Yeah, that's it. Check it out, everybody. Use it. I know a lot of you that are new to the game never got to use it outside of the care package.
Right.
So I just do, if you like the show, I'm asking you guys a personal favor. Toss that Mastiff in the trash can where it belongs and try the Peacekeeper. That's all I'm saying.
That. I like that comment.
Because if you can't handle the charge shot, just turn the choke off and even just use it. Like the spread hip fire is tighter than the EVAs. Yeah. So if you can take the time to learn how to shoot it, even from a hip fire perspective, it will pay off and benefit you. 100%.
Hundo percento.
Yes, 100%. So,
all right.
Next subject.
We just real quick. If you haven't seen it, there's a new Apex edition out. Every so often they'll put out a new edition to try to invite new people into the game to take more money from us. And they've just released the Mirage edition with a fancy little cowboy outfit that he has,
which is fucking sick.
Which is pretty cool. I dig it. I think it's pretty cool. So go check out the Mirage edition. It's in the same little tab in the menu. There's the Bloodhound, there's a Gibraltar, there's a Lifeline, there's a Pathfinder, there's an Octane, and now there's a Mirage. Go check it out. They also released some new skins, Animal Kingdom skins. They're pretty fucking dope.
Yeah, check out those Animal Kingdom skins. I know I've been spending a lot of time on Reddit, and I know a lot of people seem to complain about, oh, there's recolors, there's not new skins, this, that, the other thing. The Animal Kingdom is the first complete set of skins where I feel like, I think it's 4 skins total. Yeah. And every skin is actually tight and done well and looks good.
Pathfinder's lizard skin is fucking dope.
Yeah, the chameleon one is dope.
Gecko chameleon.
The fucking Indiana Jones fuse skin is sick.
It's so good. I really like Caustic's gorilla skin.
I own every legendary skin for Caustic except one. And I only use the gorilla one because it's so sick.
Oh, dope, dude.
You look like this weird like death stormtrooper. But so I'm glad they put this out. I understand. For those of you listening that have the same thought process, what's this? What is this? Why do we either get a recolor or a new skin, and why is it so rare? Well, I was perusing through the lovely channels of Reddit, and there was a dev comment basically saying, the amount of time it takes for the skins, because you got to keep in mind for the BR, even with its size growth, they still have a much smaller team than Warzone or Valorant or Fortnite. So basically, he explained it as, I can make, in the amount of time it takes to take one new legendary skin, we can make 10 recolors. Right. So would you have the recolors that keep complaining or the legendary skin? You'd rather have the legendary skin. So if you haven't picked up the Animal Kingdom skins, or you thought the name was stupid, actually go look at the skins and charms and everything. They're totally worth it. Just do it. Just do it. Just do it.
You won't. I'm just gonna go through the entire episode and just like threaten people who listen to the show.
That's 2 in a row.
I'm just gonna threaten everybody. I'm just gonna threaten everybody who listens to the show.
I feel threatened.
So for those listening, like we said before, if you have something you want us to talk about, if you have a question, if you're concerned about someone with the game or whatever, you just want to talk about the game, hit us up. Hit us up on Twitter at CowVan. Hit up my friend JoelCupcake here at JoelCupcake on Twitter. Send us a message, man. We also have open our email, which is pexpalspodcast@gmail.com. If you're an email person, go ahead and do that. If you watch our YouTube video, leave a comment and we'll definitely read it.
You can also leave a review and kind of leave the tip of what to talk about in their review, whether it's a new segment, whether it's a one-time subject, whatever. That's actually how we got today's user feedback from our friend Eyeless. Calvin, what was it?
So Eyeless had a question regarding how to counter Mirage. And this may seem like a weird question, like just shoot Mirage, right? But with Mirage's new updates, he's definitely harder to fight against, especially in Arena. I've seen some really sick Mirage plays in Arena, and Mirage is really good in close quarters. So Joel, I want to open it up to you first. Do you have any ideas, or how do you counter Mirage?
Well, Calvin, I say, let's go back and forth. I make a point, and you make a point. Let's do it like that.
Let's do it.
So I'm going to start with the basics. I'm going to start with the simple answer. Eyeless, if you're having trouble with Mirage, play Revenant. Because the orbs actually just got updated when we read the patch notes. What was that, 2 episodes ago? For the hot fixes. One of the things they increased is Revenant's orbs always made it so he couldn't shoot decoys, but now Mirage no longer cloaks when reviving or resurrecting.
Right.
So that option has been removed. So the cloak is no longer there. That alone is worth you using a Revenant if you struggle with Mirage. But huge. Also him not being able to do decoys or that utterly annoying ultimate. Yes. Pays off with Rev, and Rev still has the double fireball, which I know I said a couple episodes ago. I don't think it's that big of a deal. It is kind of bullshit, but I'll give it a pass. I'll give it a pass. Yeah. So that's my first answer is play Rev. Calvin, what's your first piece? I
like
advice?
That. So so let's talk about Mirage just in general. So Mirage, his ability is to throw out a clone, right? And they've recent updates did it so that his little Mirages do have footsteps now. So it sounds like somebody's running next to you, and that can be very confusing. And then when he pops his ultimate, all of those clones have ultimates now, or have footsteps now too. So that's so very confusing. Every single one of them pop ups on a Bloodhound scan, on a crypto scan or whatever. It's very confusing. He also has the ability to res his teammates or revive his teammates while invisible. But his little stickers, his little pylons on him still glow. So if you're paying attention, you can see the glow. Or if you're running, you run into the bumping while he's resing right in front of you,
and you can still hear it.
And you can still hear it too. Yeah. And so being mindful of where the original Mirage is very important. If you scan Mirage while he pops his ult with a Bloodhound or a Crypto Drone, the original Mirage has a diamond on him. It's a yellow diamond. So if you're paying attention.
There goes my talking point. Thanks.
If you pay attention, all the other Mirages will not have a diamond on them, but the original Mirage will. So that's another thing to pay attention to, right there. To counter Mirage.
Wait, I got something.
Oh, go ahead.
Eyeless, my friend, and anyone listening. A tip. I could be incorrect about this. I could be. But play Caustic, because his decoys, I believe they have. I'd have to we'd have to double test this, which we could do in the firing range later if you would like. I'm pretty sure that. So his decoys have health when you shoot them, right?
Yes, yes. They take
But
multiple shots now.
I believe the way abilities versus abilities work is actually processed different in the game. Because I'm pretty sure if you shoot a Mirage decoy into caustic gas, the second the gas goes off, it kills the decoy. The decoy doesn't make it through the gas.
Oh, interesting.
So that's something I've noticed very recently dealing with Mirages.
Right.
Also thinking about your question since you submitted it last week, Hylas.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure that holds true. I've had some trouble when I play caustic of the range, like the proximity of which my mines actually go off. So maybe don't take my word for it now. Maybe wait until they try to rebalance the fart box a little bit. You know what I mean? That's what I call caustic for those of you that don't listen to the show a lot.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I mean, I would say the best direct counter to Mirage, Calvin, is, I mean, you already hit the nail on the head. You know, it's either we did collectively. It's either Rev or it's crypto or it's Bloodhound.
Yeah,
that's the most direct way. You know what I mean?
Right.
The other thing is you can use fuse or carry a lot of flame grenades because you have the area of effect. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I would say despite, like, regardless of what character you choose or like what is available to you, like if you have a Bloodhound on your team or not, the way that I personally deal with Mirage is I look at the one that's looking at me. So the Mirage can take control of his clones. And it looks like it's an actual Mirage, like running through the game. But that clone will never look at you. Doesn't matter which like direction that the actual Mirage is facing, the clone won't face the way that you're looking. It's really weird, like the way the clone moves, right? And all the clones. So I always look to see which the Mirage is looking at you. And even though it's hard to tell what Mirage is going to shoot at you once they start, your vision is just as obscured as theirs is, right? They know where you are, but they also have the Mirages in front of them, or the clones in front of them, so they can't really shoot as well as they would like to either. And so I would say watch for the one that's looking at you, and just be mindful that their accuracy is probably not going to be the best in that situation, in a close quarter situation either. So
correct. And then another good tip, I know this because I was playing Mirage this week, as you noticed, was when say, like for example, when I play Mirage, if I'm hella low and I need to pop a Phoenix kit or something like that, I will pop my ult and hide in a corner and do it. So when you do that, your decoys only mimic your movements. They don't mimic you using the shield bat. So if you're fighting a Mirage and you hear a shield bat going off, just look for whichever one is holding the damn shield bat.
Right. Yeah, because they don't pull out shield bats.
No. Yeah. So let me explain if you guys don't know what I mean. If you are crouched in a corner and you wiggle back and forth and do it and pop the shield back, your decoys are all facing different directions, crouched, wiggling back and forth with a gun out. But they're not, they don't actually pull out the shield bat and they don't make the shield bat noise. So you just look for the one that actually has the shield bat. Now, of course, that's a specific situation.
Yeah.
But it still counts as a count.
It still counts. No, that's definitely, it's true. Mirage, like I said, with Mirage's new updates, he's definitely harder to he's definitely a more comparable fight, especially in arenas. It's just making sure you know where the original one is, and just getting the better of that one. Yeah, I think that was a great question.
Yeah, it was a great question. And then the only other thing I would maybe add to that, and I mean, you're a little bit more skilled at your gameplay than I am, Calvin, so feel free to correct me. But the only other thing I would potentially add to that is a lot of people, when they pop their ultimate, you have to remember they're either running or they're going to pop it and staying still for the confusion.
Right.
Because the decoys run in a straight line from where you pop it until you move, right? Or how does that work? I always forget. Like,
I haven't watched it. I haven't sat down and seen exactly how the mimics react, but I plan to.
Yeah, so basically keep in mind, they run in a straight line until they hit something.
Mhm.
So if you see a Mirage, if you see the decoys happen and there's nothing to stop them from running, then that means that's either the real Mirage stopped moving or that's the one who activated. You know what I mean? So like if you see the decoys move and then stop, that means the real Mirage was also stopped. Now, what a lot of people do, what I do, I'll use Mirage as decoy. Like, say I have a Havoc with a turbo or a shoddy, I'll pop the Mirage or I'll pop the ult and then slide around a corner to try to push and fight. So if you see the decoy go off, you can hear the noise. You see him kind of flash in and out.
Yeah.
So just try to be like a little more aware. You know what I mean?
Yeah. No, that's definitely a good question. So yeah, man, just keep at it, and eventually it'll make sense. Yeah. So one of the things into the topic that we had slated for this week, one of the things we want to talk about, and this is kind of like floated around all the time. Like you go on Reddit, you talk on Twitter, or just general Apex Legends forums. Everyone always talks about reworks, right? Everyone talks about what they should do to change this character so that they're more viable, and then the devs sometimes even take user our fans' ideas and actually apply them to the game. So it's always a little fun exercise to do. And this week, for our first chance at talking about legend changes that we think we should do, I wanted to talk about Revenant because I feel like Unky Rev, dude. Unky Rev. I feel like Unky Rev doesn't get enough love, and for a while there, Rev was like the like there was like a little combo you would do. You'd pick Revenant, you'd pick Octane, and you would pick Crypto, right? And then what you would do is you would set up the totem, you'd throw Crypto's drone in, hit him with an EMP, throw down a launch pad, hit the totem, fly in, shoot him up, and then once you got sent back to totem, just hit the launch pad again, Octane's launch pad, and just jump right back into the fight. So you'd hit like two very quick, strong waves of damage. And a lot of people did it all the time, and it was actually really cool to see be done. Like there's some videos on YouTube and probably on Reddit you can probably still find of people of teams doing this combo.
Real clutch plays.
It's super cool. It's really super cool to keep, but it was kind of like a fade, like a phase, like, and people kind of like people don't really do it anymore. And not even talk about that before even people even decided to even do that thing. A lot of people didn't play Revenant that much, and
the original Ultimate was a very small area of effect,
right?
And the Rev's Ultimate is actually very loud when you put the totem down. So I think that's why I think a lot of people are like, oh, which is I think it's fair because like when Caustic throws a fucking mine, it's loud as fuck. When when Watson activates her pylon, holy shit, is it loud? Yeah, you know what I mean? Like, so look at Fuse when he does his explosion. Look at Gibraltar when he opens up the skies. You know what I mean? Like, you know what I mean? So it's like, I get it. I didn't have a problem with it. Like, I actually think, I think his passives, I get it. Okay. What is Revenant? If you look at the lore of the character, he's a fucking assassin. Yeah. So
assassin robot.
Yeah. So him being able to climb higher and silently and crawl and move 30% faster when crouched, I think is fair. I think we talked about this in our arena episode. He has the best passive kit in the game, in my opinion. Like most useful, especially. I know. Sorry, the puppy has a toy in her mouth and is just staring at me, whining. No. I know. I'm explaining to our listeners, like, because you might be able to hear her, like, yeah. He's being so adorable. I know, honey. I'm almost done. We're almost done with this episode. I promise.
So with Revenant, let's talk about how Revenant was before. Before, Revenant had one orb, right? And it's always done the same thing. It did about 10 damage, and it removes the player's ability to use their abilities. So like their tacticals and their ultimates for duration. I think they increased the time too. I think they increased the time that that from before to now that you're disabled. And then his totem, the totem has always been the same. You activate the totem, you turn into a shadow, you run out, and if you die or if you get shot at, it only takes away your health, not your shield, so that Once your health reaches 0, you get teleported back to the totem, and you come back with just a portion of your health, like 25% of your health remaining, and you still have full shields. And so he's always been able to scale buildings faster and higher, and he's always been able to crouch walk faster than all the other heroes. And then now he's still essentially the same, but he has 2 orbs now. The wall climbing and the crouching is still the same.
Correct.
And the difference between the totems from before and now is that the totem, like you said, was in a small radius around the totem that he'd be able to attack. And they took that away because that was very limiting to the totem. It didn't really make sense to send a shadow in to someone that you can see right in your face, and they're just going to shoot your totem anyway, and they know exactly where you came from and push you where you're weak. If your first shadow push didn't do much damage.
Yeah,
taking off the limits of that, I think was a good idea too. Where he's at right now, I feel like people don't pick him because, like you said, he's an assassin robot. But he doesn't feel very assassin-y. Like the fact that he can climb faster and higher is cool, but I think he should just be able just to climb indefinitely. You know what I mean?
He is a robot, so there would be nothing like
why does he get tired?
It would be cool to have like a new sense of verticality from a character in the game. And that could be like a very like cool way to do it. I like that. I think I still have a problem with his ultimate. I do think there needs to be some sort of a range cap, more so just because like all the characters, I've had this rant on the show before where there needs to be like some kind of like universal understanding or balancing of all the ultimates, like just like Fuse's ultimate range is entirely too far. The only reason I don't really complain about it is because it's fucking useless.
Right.
Revs is very useful. Like this is an Overwatch. You shouldn't be comboing your ults. You know what I mean? Like,
that's the beauty of it, because comboing ults, right, is the reason why there are ultimates is because you're supposed to use them to give yourself an advantage in that fight, right? Correct. So comboing ults, I think that's just the nature of the game. You know what I mean? And if you're smart enough to figure it out, like I was playing with Biru last night, and he was playing Gibraltar, and I was playing Bangalore. And Bangalore has her rolling thunder, and then Gibraltar has his bombardment, right?
Yeah,
or barrage, whatever it's called.
I think it's bombardment. I think that's correct. Or bombardment is what it is, I believe.
Yeah, I don't remember. And so last 3 squads, and the other 2 squads started fighting each other. So he and I ran over there, and I threw out my rolling thunder, and then after my rolling thunder started to hit, he threw out his bombardment. And so while they got stunned in my rolling thunder, like in flashbanged in my rolling thunder, they couldn't escape his bombardment, and that's how we won the game, because we double ulted these people. So like, it was really cool. But like that's something that we were, I don't want to say we're so smart we figured it out ourselves, but I mean, like, it was something that we were able to see that we could do, and then we acted on it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so I think that like, yes, there should be ultimates to counter other people, and there should be ultimates to give you an advantage, just like there should be ultimates that you can put together to make one, better. Like Fuse and Gibraltar would be a good one. You know what I mean? Throw up a Fuse, ring of fire, they can't escape, and they hit him with the Gibraltar dome. But if there's a Pathfinder there, Pathfinder could throw a zip line and get out. You know what I mean? And so back to Revenant, I think he should be able to climb indefinitely, because Pathfinder can throw a rope way up in the sky and go. Valkyrie can literally fly across the map. Horizon goes way up high. Like we're finding after like Horizon came out, and even Valkyrie, not so much Valkyrie, but like Horizon came out, people were finding like new rat spots that they can hide in.
I've definitely been finding them with Valkyrie.
Well, that's what I'm saying. You know what I'm saying?
Right, yeah.
Like, people have been finding like brand new rat spots, and Pathfinder's always been able to find a new rat spot. But the difference was that Pathfinder, you saw a rope, or like he would have to angle his grapple hook in the right way and do it right, otherwise sling into the air and miss. Horizon, you just throw a thing up, you go straight up, you walk right off. Valkyrie, you fly right to the spot.
Yeah.
So I think Revenant should just be able to climb high, fast, indefinitely.
Maybe not fast, but indefinitely I'd be okay with.
Well, he already climbs faster than everybody.
Oh, that's fair. Yeah, like I'm not saying any faster than he is though. Like,
oh, that's what I mean.
I'm okay with that. But yeah, like an indefinite climb, like, or at least like instead of slightly higher, like double the distance, or like maybe his climb should be able to match Horizon.
Yeah.
Because Horizon's verticality, and the other thing with her is the fact that it affects the whole freaking team.
Mm-hmm.
That's the thing that I kind of hate about her.
Right.
Valkyrie just flies herself up. Mm-hmm. Pathfinder, unless it's a zip, he just grapples himself up.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like Wraith, I mean, if you use the portal for a move like that, you're insane and really skilled. So I'm not even going to address that,
Right.
But yeah, dude, I'd be okay with that. I think the fireballs, if you're going to have two, I think it should go back to how it was before.
How was it before?
I think, well, like, okay, let's look at the way the game is played now with how it's just push, aggressive. Like, if you get pushed by two teams back to back, one fireball can ability lock you through two fights. I don't think that that's fair because that's an over advantage, in my opinion. Like, you got to adjust these characters' abilities, especially their passives and tacticals, to work within the range. Like, the game originally was built with the idea of offense and defense in mind. And I think that's why Rev's original thing was so small. Maybe they wanted you to pair him with Watson or Caustic. Right. I love running fucking Caustic and Rev because you put the totem down. I'll put 2 mines at the totem just in case they figure out where it is when we get sent back.
Right.
Because you're smart. You pop the mines. There's a little bit of confusion, enough time to get like a bat or heals off or whatever. But I think that the character was built in a different mindset, and if you're already being unheard and having this height advantage, why should you be able to silence me through the ability not only to defend myself against your team but a second team? See,
I think you have a good point. However, I think that then at that point, then what would be the point of using orbs? You know what I mean? Because what it does then, when the orb hits you and it takes away your abilities, you're forced to shoot. You're not Apex, even though it has powers and stuff like that, and I guess you could see this as contrary to what I just said. But even though the game has powers, it's still a shooter. You know what I mean?
Yes.
So Revenant forces you to play a shooter. And the abilities should be there because they make the game fun and interesting. But I don't think the abilities, the removal of the abilities, should be something that makes you go, oh, you know what I mean? Then you should just be able to. You should just be like, fuck, okay, I guess I just gotta shoot the Revenant now.
Yeah, I mean, and to clarify, at the end of the day, I agree with you. Right. But maybe if it's going to last, because it lasts over 10 seconds right now.
Yeah, it's like 16, 18 seconds or something.
So if it's going to last that long, then only give him one orb. I'm not saying a drastic change. I'm just saying a slight tweak. I just my opinion,
right?
On what I think would make it worth it, because especially the fact that he can immediately fire both of them as well. And normally I would agree with you. If this was pre-Caustic nerf, I'd agree with you.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But because it's post-Caustic nerf, and then there also you get this bang buff with the smoke, which is impossible to see through.
Right.
I do think this also needs an adjustment because it's not a defensive ability; it's an offensive ability. And I think, other than Rolling Thunder, I think all the offensive abilities, the time that they are out on the map, I think is fair. Yeah. I think we can both agree on that, right?
Yeah.
So being silenced for 16 seconds, the average fight indoor a building is I would say if you full 2 teams 3v3 run into a building. That fight's going to take, unless they're highly skilled at bobbing and weaving and whatnot, or there's mines or rampart walls or
whatever
fences, or it's a building that has a lot of the cover and escape routes, then that fight's going to take no more than 10 seconds.
Maybe. Yeah.
So is 16 to 18 seconds or whatever the hell it is really necessary? And okay, maybe you make it a little less. Okay, let it do more damage. Rev Orb only does 10. You know, Valkyrie, every one of her things does 25 damage.
Right.
You know?
Yeah.
Like there's definitely ways to balance it out. Or like, does it slow you? I don't remember.
No, it doesn't slow you.
So okay, so maybe you could add that, because we've seen stunning is the most significant status effect in the game. It's huge. The whole reason Caustic got nerfed, because people were pissed by the oppressiveness of the gas,
right?
Not necessarily the damage, because the gas was such a I can't be an overly aggressive person because of the gas,
right?
It wasn't even necessarily the damage and whatnot. It was, you know, so
the last thing that I want to say about this is I think what would be really cool just to keep with his like character of being an assassin. I think his disabling effects should affect only one person, where if he's in line of sight of somebody, he can just, you know, you press your tactical button and then you disable that person. It does no damage, right? But you just like, so like, for example, right?
Like, because he's hunting the person down.
Exactly. So like,
he can't let the Pathfinder escape. Because yeah, I get it.
Yeah. So like, you see a team, they're running out, you down one, and the Gibby's gonna run and try to dome them. You cancel the Gibby's dome, and then or you cancel the Gibby so he can't dome and he can't bombard you to keep you away. And then now they have no protection. Or you see a lifeline, you tactical the lifeline, and then now the lifeline can't, you know, drop a healing drone or a res or something. You know what I mean?
I like that.
I think that'd be really fucking cool so that, like you said, keep it true to the assassin character lore of him, and make him pinpoint. Like I think that'd be really dope.
I love it.
Right?
I love it. Well, I got nothing else to add about Uncle Rev.
I have nothing else to add about Unky Rev. If you listeners have something to add about Unky Rev, or have an idea of who we should talk about next for rework ideas, or what we think about them, hit us up. Check us out. Leave us a message on where you're listening to this and let us know your ideas. Joel, I think that was a good PEX Pals episode.
That was a good episode. I want to let I know some of the viewers that watch have the same mentality as me, and some frustrations. There was an unfortunate Twitter thread going on. The gist of it is from a dev. If you are waiting for an update on the heirloom, or usually by now there's a mid-season tease with what's going on. This is going to be the longest season without heavy content, the devs have said. I don't know if it's still a setback from the Chinatown market thing. I don't know what it is. I don't know if it's the teams working from home, which is obviously completely understandable. But I wouldn't be surprised if we don't get an heirloom after the split or a town takeover this season. They're making it seem like we're not going to get the content. And that bums me out. Bums me out. I'll be honest. But hey, the game is still great. We still love it. I just want to make sure that our listeners also stay informed. That bums me out. But besides that bummer news, you are right, Calvin. This was a great episode of PEX Pals. And I appreciate all of you that listen and the few of you that watch.
Yeah. Don't forget, check us out wherever you get your podcasts, Spotify, Apple. We're also now on iHeartRadio. So if that's your platform of choice, go check us out there. Subscribe, leave us a comment, leave us a review. It helps us out in the long run. If you want to tell us anything, check us out on Twitter. I am at CowVan. My boy here is... Oh, go ahead.
Oh, I'm at JoelCupcake. And if you do leave us a review, I think Calvin and I personally, I think we're worth at least 3 out of 5 stars. Just saying.
At least 3.
Just you guys can humor me if you disagree. That's completely fine.
For any other inquiries, hit us up at pexpalspodcast@gmail.com. Also check out our website, pexpals.com.
And don't forget, beak.
6 feet deep.
We're the PEX Pals boys. Signing out.
Bye.
Bye.